I hope we have completed lecture 5B, I think, no? So creating the composite components I have explained to you in the last class, and the JSTL tags, okay, JSF template tags, implicit objects and core actions. So these are the tasks that I have explained to you. Practically also I have shown you. So you can refer to the labs folder here in this one. I think it is in 6th. No, it is not there here. Yeah, it is in the lab 4 here. This is also not there. So the JSF components, what I have shown you, you have to practice what I have discussed in the last class. The video also I uploaded in the Blackboard. So today we will move on to the lecture 6, the last part of JSF. Okay. Uh, so this already you know this one. How to do navigation is explained to you in this lecture 6 part A. Navigation meaning when you are in one page, when you perform some action by clicking the button, you will show the details in the second page. From first page you are going to move to the second page, so that is called navigation. So web tier processing and navigation in the JSF part 3 we are going to discuss. Okay, so what are the objectives that we are going to cover? uh, okay, so what are the objectives that we will cover in this lecture are MVC pattern. You know what is an MVC. In the beginning of lecture 3 we have discussed lecture 3, lecture 4. How to do the backing beans, you already know this one. Then what are the life cycle and callback annotations, we will discuss. How to handle the exceptions and the messages, that we will discuss in this lecture 6 part A. Then there is one more concept known as enterprise Java beans, EJB. So when you create a bean, that bean and the JSF page both can be connected. You can connect them together, you can bind them together. Okay, final objective of this lecture is navigation rules. You can define your own rules. You can define your own rules. So using these rules, you can tell the user, if you are clicking on this page, you will go to this page, like that. So from page 2, if you are there and clicking some button, you will move to page 3. So that rule we will define, okay, in a particular file. So that we will see in the last objective. So now let us see this one, MVC pattern. This already you have studied in your programming 2 programming course. Model view controller. JSF is a framework, so it encourages you to keep the design part separate. The business logic means the web tier and the business tier and the persistence tier separately. So in the first lecture, multi-tier applications, how to create, we have discussed. So this MVC is one kind of design pattern. So it is to design the architecture of your application. So it's an architectural pattern. This is used to separate your business logic from the user interface. So in the designing page, we don't write any logic. We will write the logic in the beans, in the model. Okay, business logic does not mix well with the user interface coding. So if you are mixing these two, what will happen? Your application will become very tough to maintain, very difficult to maintain, and you cannot scale the application. That means you cannot improvise, or you cannot improvise the functionality of your application if you mix the business logic and user interface in the same page. If you mix both these, it is very difficult. So this is one of the drawback. And MVC, where we are going to apply, we apply to make our app design of the application loosely coupled. Means one tier is not depending on the other tier. So if you are designing what we have seen in the first lecture, suppose I say you that you have this architecture, for instance, for your application. Okay, for example, this is the multi-tier architecture. So here is your user interface presentation layer or presentation tier. Okay, presentation tier. And here is your business logic layer, business tier. And next is your presentation tier here. Sorry, not persistence tier or database tier. So what are the languages we will use in the persistence tier, or which type of database connectivity we will use is like to connect to this database, MySQL, Oracle, Access, okay, or Postgres, SQL, NoSQL, many things are there. So here you will use what type of technology? EJB, bean validations, these technologies you will use. And here you will use what to design your pages? JSF, okay, JSP, or HTML, or CSS, okay, JavaScript. Many things you can use here to design your web pages. So this is your user interface part. And this is the beans part, a business logic part, and this is the database tier part. So when you have like this, suppose you develop the application now using these technologies. Tomorrow the new manager comes to the company. They say that I don't want JSF, I want the design in some other part, some other technology I want to use. So simple, you can just design the user interfaces. The remaining things will become static, it will not change. So this layer is not depending on this layer. Our business layer is not depending on the presentation layer. Business layer will not depend on the persistence, or persistence will not depend on the business layer. That means this is loosely coupled, they are not tightly coupled. That means tightly coupled means dependency is high. Loosely coupled means dependency is low. One layer is not depending on the other layer. Loosely coupled. Okay. Tightly coupled. That means your components are highly depending on the other component tightly. So when you implement this MVC, your design of the application will be loosely coupled. If it is loosely coupled, it is very easy to modify the appearance of your web pages or the business logic without affecting one another. Are you understanding this one, students?
No, mister.
No, I think you joined lately.
Yeah, because I have a problem in network, mister, these days.
No. See, this why I am discussing this MVC. You studied already this one in the programming course. JSF is one framework. Similarly, MVC is a pattern, design a pattern used to design the architecture of your application. So before you start developing the application, we have to apply this MVC pattern to your application. So when you use this, your design part is separate and the business logic part is separate. So we are not going to mix. If you mix, things will become very difficult to manage, to maintain, to increase the functionality. That is why we are keeping the things separate. Beans are separate, pages are separate, and the database code is separate. So that is why I show you here this one. Presentation layer, the code of XHTML file is here separate. We are not mixing bean and this one. We are not mixing this and this. Everything is separate. So if you follow such type of pattern, then it is called MVC. Okay, model view controller. Model view controller design pattern. MVC design pattern. Pattern means style. This is the style we apply to this type of enterprise applications. So anything you can change. So tomorrow, if you don't like this EJB, you can bring some other concepts of Bean, like Spring or some other technologies are there, Java Spring or any other things. So if you don't like any of these databases, you want to use some other database, you can only change this part. So every layer is independent. They are not depending on each other. So that is the reason why we are going for this MVC, because it brings this capability, that is loosely coupling. The components are not tied together. They are independent of one another. Okay. So this is the main objective of using this MVC design pattern. So already you have seen the JSF applications, how it works. So MVC design pattern, see here is your client. You are the client. You are opening Google Chrome browser. You type the request HTTP localhost 8080 slash like your project name web1 slash student login.xhtml. So that is nothing but your request. So when you put a request, this is the first program which comes into picture. This is known as your controller. Faces servlet. So where is this faces servlet configured? I have already discussed this one in the lecture 3, lecture 4. Where is that configured, that faces servlet? In which file we can find this faces servlet? Can anybody remember? In which file we are going to, or already it is available? In which file it is available? Can you tell me? In which file you will find this faces servlet configuration? This type of questions will come in the exam. You have to remember this type of questions. Whenever you open any application, in your application you have this web pages folder. Under the web pages, you have web.inf folder. Under the web.inf folder, you have the file web.xml. Open that. Now this is the faces servlet configuration. This one. So because of this only our requests are handled. Our requests are handled by this program. What is that program? This is the program faces servlet. So this is like a controller. So this is known as your controller. Okay, this controller will take you to the page, redirect you to the page. So that page is nothing but your view. View is XHTML pages. Okay, XHTML pages. And what is model is your backing bean. You are creating like login controller, student controller. So these are nothing but your uh, model part. So we discuss now model view controller. So what is the definition of model? Model is representing the data of the application which is stored in the database, and that is displayed in the view. So the data what is available in the database, that only you will bring in the page, and this page is sent as a response to the browser. Okay, so model may contain backing bean, EJB call or a JPA call. This one, it may contain an EJB, backing bean, or may contain the code to access the database. Okay, so model is a bean. It represents the data of the application. View is nothing but your user interface. That is the actual XHTML page, the design of your XHTML page. So this is nothing but your graphical representation of the model. So whenever you run a page in your backing bean, what is there? So if I run this file, student ID, student password, student email will be displayed to me. So where that is stored? That is stored in my backing bean. So it is representation of your, the view is nothing but the representation of a model. Whatever is there in the model, that is going to be displayed. Understand?
Yes.
Last one, controller, as I told you, this is the program which will manage the communication. It will manage the communication between your model and the XHTML file. Suppose see here you are writing some ID. Okay, here you are writing some password, and when you click, you have to go to second page. What is that page? This page. Where is that? This one, result. So when you open this one, when you perform the action here, you are going to the bean. So this is the controller. So it will control your navigation. So it is telling that when you type the data and click the button, go to this page result. That is nothing but the controller who is controlling your web page. Controller is managing the communication between the model and the view. So our backing being and the page that is being controlled by this controller, which is known as your backing being. Okay, so this is the clear definition of MVC pattern: model, view, controller. So in the short answer, they will ask like explain briefly the MVC design pattern with the help of a diagram. Then you have to draw this diagram, explain what is model, what is view, what is controller. Okay, so what is a faces servlet? We already discussed in the lecture 4, lecture 3. So this is another explanation for you here. See, as I told you, where is the configuration of this faces servlet? In this file. So you have to remember this one. This will be asked in your multiple choice question. For example, faces servlet is configured in dash file. A is web.xml file. B is faces config.xml file. C is form.xml file. D is beans.xml file. So you have to choose the correct answer like this. So it is configured under the web.xml file. So as I told you here, this is the file. In every project you can find under this web.inf folder. When you open that, this is the configuration of our project faces servlet. Okay, so that is nothing but it is a controller which is controlling. See, when you press the button, there is an event occurring. That event is delegated to the faces servlet. So faces servlet will follow the life cycle. What are the life cycle? 6 stages are there. It will check for the data what you are typing. First it will create a tree, then it will check the data you applied, validation errors it will check. If everything is correct, then it will move to the last phase to render your data, to render your page. So faces servlet is an implementation of this Java x.servlet.servlet, and it is acting as the central controller element. That means this is the person who will handle all your requests. Whoever is coming here, client 1, client 2, client 3, client 4, all request has to go through this person only. Okay, faces servlet. So the example is given here, the snapshot. So this is the example. As I show you here, this is the file. So in this file, this is the code which is responsible for the what is that one, configuring the faces servlet. Okay. So web.xml defines this one, java x.faces.webapp.faces, by giving its name. This is the name it is given, faces servlet. Okay. So this is the way we access. So this is the project name. So wherever you have the project, so that project name you can use here. Like for example, web tire 1, web tire 1.0 snapshot something. So under that you have this file. It can be extension.jsf or it can be xhtml file, whatever extension it is. So the default servlet mapping is this one, star.faces. That means always you have to type here before the project /faces. You can see here. Can you see here this one? This is the project name /faces/student.xhtml. If you don't want these faces to be appear here. That also you can modify in your web.xml. Simply you can delete this. If you delete that, so the next time when you run the application, it will not have the faces package, folder there. So directly see here. Can you see the difference? See this one. Localhost 8080 port number slash. This is the name of your project. Directly file is there. Before what happened? Before see, there is a faces slash this one. Okay, so like that you can configure here in the faces servlet. So that is what is explained to you here. So instead of this one, you can change maybe to star.jsf or something, or you can give your any name .faces or anything you can give. So for the user, it will be displayed that extension. For example, if I say here like .jsf file or something .jsf. Let me check this one. Maybe it will show error. Okay, can you see now? So we need to create the page with this extension .jsf, or you can access like this. So you have to create the pages like this. So whatever changes you want to configure here, you can do it in this place. Okay, I will keep it as any format. Maybe it is XHTML, maybe it is in HTML or any other page. Okay, so this is the configuration we can do in this file web.xml. Next is the faces context. This is the important package or the abstract class that is used to display the information like error messages from the backing bean. You can display the messages onto the console. So it is helping you to represent your information which is associated with processing incoming request and creating the response. So you can handle that with the help of this faces context class. It has many methods. So this class will allow you to interact with the user interface and your rest of the environment, means backing bean or your persistence bean, etc. So it can be accessed using your implicit objects like request. Okay, what we discussed in the lecture 5, the implicit objects like view, scope, application, request, those things. So you can get the reference and you can access using this method inside the backing bean, get current instance. So if you have this current instance, then only we can display some messages with the help of this method add message. What type of message you want to display, whether it is a warning to the user, whether it is an error, or it is an information to the user. So let us see this in clear in the next option, in the next slide. Okay, in the table 10.11, suggested textbook. So you can go to the suggested textbook which is mentioned beginning Java E7. You can refer this table for these details if you want to study. Now, uh, faces config, I will tell you that one in the program in the last slide, this one. What is this one? What is this one? Now, faces config file. This is also one file which is responsible for configuring your navigation rules. And this is the file where we can configure the different types of messages. Can you see here? It is telling default locale is FR. FR means French. French language for my website. French language is a default website. So what are the messages I want to display for this application is stored in one bundle, one folder. So that is the configuration done here. So this is known as your XML deployment descriptor. What is the name of that file? faces-config.xml file. So this is the example. So it defines the default locale. So whenever we can also create, but here in this we are using the current version of JSF is 2.3. So in the 2.3 it is optional. You can have or you may not have. It is up to you. If you want to create your faces config, right click on the project, click new, go to the others, type here the JSF faces config. See this one, JSF faces configuration. By default, the name is this one. Don't modify this one. And see where it is created. It is created under the web-inf folder here. This is the file. So here you are going to write the code like this. What is your default locale? Application locale config like that. So here application, okay, then locale config. What is our default locale English? Okay, if you want you can put Arabic, something like that. Locale config, under that default locale English, same like this. If you have separate messages to be displayed, that also you can configure like this. That we will see later. This is called internationalization. Means you can display the messages of different languages in Arabic format, Chinese or English or French or Spanish, etc. And this is the place where you can define your navigation part. So far till now, this is the navigation we handled. So you are clicking from this page. I am going to which page, which file? This controller. From student, if I click this command button, I am going to this method and telling the method that show this page. Instead of doing here, we can write some name, some string here as a result. See the slide here and understand. Navigation rule. This is the tag which is used here in the faces config.xml file. What is that one? Navigation rule. What is the rule we have to define here? So see this slide. First tag you see inside this navigation rule. From view ID. What is the view? That means from which page you are coming. That file name you have to write here. Star means any file. Maybe it is student.xhtml, maybe it is index.xhtml, maybe it is login.xhtml, maybe it is home.xhtml, whatever it is. Any page, from any page, if you come, this is the scenario case, navigation case. Outcome If the form outcome is success, then to this view you have to go. List books you have to show. That is the meaning here. From which page, based on what string you are going to display this page. That is the rule I am defining here. So instead of going here, instead of see here in the student controller, I have result page here. I don't write result page. I will say here success, for example, success. So this is the string. I don't create that page here. Now what I will do here is, based on that success page, I can show the result page. So I can write here the code. Instead of writing the code, I want to auto generate. I will show you. You can click this page flow. Can you see here? There are three tabs. One is source code, another is page flow and history. So I will click this page flow. What are the pages here that will show? So from the student.xhtml file, I want to show the result.xhtml file. That is the one, no? So from here, I am going to that page, second page. So what I will do here is click this one and put a link. What is the case? It is asking me on which case, based on what case you want to go here. I will say the case name is success. The same string what I mentioned here in this one. You can give any name. You can give all well or everything is okay. You can say here uh, data saved. Like this also you can give. The same name you can give here. Now coming to the coding part, again come to this one, source. Can you see this one? It is automatically generated. So you refer to this one. From view ID, from which view you are coming, from this view, student.xhtml. What is the case? If the case is, that means the from outcome is data saved successfully. In your bean, if this is defined, then only it will go to this page result.xhtml. So that is the meaning here. Okay, now I will run this file. So I am going from which view? Student.xhtml now. Okay. Where is the, I think I have to restart the server. Restarting server, some students telling where to start, where to stop. Here you have Glassfish server. You can see here when the server is running, this color will be red. If you click this button, the server will be in disabled mode like this, stopped. See, now the server is started running. If you want to stop, you click this button. Our server is started now. It is deployed and it is ready here. See, now when I type here, now I successfully navigated. So this is the case that is happened here. So from student file, I go to this display data. In that, this is the string. So that configuration I have defined here. If the outcome is this, go to this page. If I write star here, that means you come from any page, not only this student, maybe from index, maybe from some other page. So that is the meaning here given in your slide. You understand this one, students? This is called navigation rule. Everybody understand this one, navigation rule?
Mister, maybe we need more time to do this. After that, we'll be interested.
Same thing, only you have to create one file. Faces config.xml file you have to create. In your application, right click, new, this one, faces configuration. Then this file is created. Then just go here, already the pages are there. See, star means see, this one. So you link which page and which page you want to show and what is the case. So case is nothing but the string which you are typing in your backing bean. So from your student page, you are clicking the command button and going to this one, display data. So under the display data, you have to write that part, this string. You can write anything, maybe your name you can write, but that string you have to give here in the case, navigation case. So from which page? This page, I am moving to this page. When this is the outcome. Suppose if it is okay, then only I am moving there. So I will say here, okay. So whenever the application, okay, so this is the case. So what are the rules that are defined in the this file, navigation file? So this is nothing but the file which will tell the application from which page you want to go to which page. So this is called a navigation rule. Okay. Now how to write a backing bean? You know, it's a bean which is having a named controller and you are creating a method here and going to this page. So backing beans are Java annotated classes. So these are the central part in your web applications. So whatever is your business logic. So business logic is, see here, you are going to call some method present in the some other layer, presentation persistence layer. So there you are connecting to the database and storing the data into the table. And these backing beans can handle navigation. This is the navigation handling. So data are held in attributes of the backing bean and actions in the page triggers. So what is the action? Command button action you are clicking. So in that, which method you want to call, which attribute you want to bind, that is done with the help of this expression language, hash, curly bracket. This is the name of the controller and this is the name of the entity book. So this title is present in this entity class and this book instance you created here. So the binding is like this, book controller dot book dot what is the at property name. It's a title of the book, price of the book, same thing like student ID, password, whatever you have given for this previous example. So this is the rules for writing a bean. Okay, this already we have seen from the first slide how to create a backing bean, etc. The structure of backing bean, you know. So sometimes in the short answer, they will ask you what are the rules or what is the structure of a backing bean. So you have to write this one. So backing beans are the classes that are managed by the faces servlet. You can bind the text box with the bean property like student ID or student password using the expression language. You can call the methods, you can invoke the methods present inside the backing bean. Backing beans need these requirements. When you say the Java class is a backing bean, it must have this annotation. What is the annotation? Named. This one. This is from this package javax.inject.name. So we can see here in your backing bean, this is the name, but it is from which package? See here javax.name.inject.name. Second requirement. So this is the requirement. So this is the one way, or you can mention the name of that bean in this file. Either way you can do, either this way or you just write the annotation at named. Second requirement, it must have a scoped annotation. Your managed bean, backing bean should have some scope. What is the scope? Request, response, okay, application. So those scopes you need to mention here. That is the second requirement. Always the class should be public. It should not be final. It should not be abstract. So this class should be always public. You cannot write final here. See the error. So you cannot write this class as final or abstract. Fourth rule, it will have a constructor which does not have any argument, no arg constructor, which will be used to create instances. This is the constructor. It is not passing, it is not accepting any arguments, empty. So inside this, you can create the instance of your class, like you have done here in the earlier application. This one, or this one, empty controller, this one. I am creating the instance of the student class. Okay, another one is the class must not define the finalized method. So your class should not have a finalized method. Attribute must have public getters and setters. All the getters and setters see public, public, public. Wherever you see public, 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 public. If you write it private or something, you cannot access it from outside. So these are the requirements. These are the rules for writing a backing bean. Okay. So in short answer, in long answer, if they ask you, you have to write this one. Example, this is the one, what we discussed so far. This is the book controller backing bean with this type of model stereotype. What is this one? We will see later that one. So it has got this method and this navigation page. And this is the renamed backing bean here. So you are calling instead of book controller 06, you can write any other short name, my bean or Samir's bean. Like that you can give here name. The remaining thing is same. So this is the renaming of the bean. Instead of this long name, you want to call it short. So you can write the which type of name you want. Okay. This is the writing a backing bean, requirements, and now scopes. What is the scope? Scope, you know, when you are creating a bean, every bean will have a valid scope. The bean data will be available to the entire session, or it should be available only to the request, or it should be applicable to any particular view. So such type of things we can mention in your backing bean as a annotated scope at application scope. See what is the meaning of this one. This is the least restrictive duration. That means your bean is valid until you shut down your application. So student controller bean is active. You can access the attributes like ID, password until I shut down the server. If this is an application scope, if I write there as application scope, your attributes, your methods will be available in the entire life duration of your application. That is called application scope. What is a session scope? Session means you are starting some activity like I am asking some page, I am putting a request, and the server is giving a response. So from the time of request till the time of response, whatever data is available or what the data is stored in the session, you can access it. So the object state is persisted, means saved between the request until the session is invalidated. See, whenever you log in into SIS or in your Blackboard, I log in into the Blackboard here. Can you see now I logged in yesterday. Now, if I click anything, any link, why it is showing this one? Because my session is expired, because my browser was inactive. So it is telling me log in again. So this is a session scope. So session scope means from the request and the response, my data will be bound to a session. So until I click this logout, everything is available for me. My user information, my name, my employee ID, email, everything will be available to you. The courses which I teach, everything. So this is stored in the session. So scope means the session scope means the objects are available for any request and response cycles that belongs to the client session. So this is my session now. If I click this, I cannot access any of the bean, like the employee bean or student bean, something like that. My session is expired now. Okay, so this is the second type of scope. Like that, you have the other scopes, view. So you can also write like this at view scope. If you write like this, within a given view, until the view is changed, have their state persisted. That means you are navigating to a new view. For example, from student, this page, previous page, I am going to the next page. I have to redeploy this. So from one page, student.xhtml, I am going to the result.xhtml. So if I write view, so that means my data will be whatever I type here that can be accessed only in this page. Again, from here, I am going to another third page. Then I cannot have the access of data. For example, here I have to write a JSF page, third page. Okay. And here I try to access this I will make it as view scope. View scope. Okay, then I will try to access like this. in this third page. Okay, I'm trying to use this one and add this one. So now I create the link in this result page. H:link. Go to link to go third page. What is the third page? File name is third page.xhtml. Value is third page. Okay, now what I will do, stop, I will run. Some error is there. Okay. Okay, should be passive. Passive should be done serializable. That means it should be implementing a serializable interface. Okay. Okay, from page 1 we will go to page 2, then to page 3. Okay, Samir 1, 2, 3. Now to which page I am going? From student page, I am going to result.xhtml page. Then from here, I want to go to the third page. See here. Third page also I want to display what is my user ID. Okay, and now you see. Can you see here why the user ID is not displayed? Why the password is not displayed? See here. Why the user ID what I typed is not displayed here? Answer.
Not because it is script.
Because
It is script.
your voice is breaking. Can you tell me? Because it is which scope? View scope I define. View scope. So view scope, if you define, if the view is changed, then your data is lost. So this is the previous page view is this one. Our data is available only here. When I go back to the next page, Khalas, now the data is lost. See, third page, I cannot display anything, or in the second page itself, it is not displaying me. So if I have like that view scope, so session scope or application scope, we have to import the package. Let me just stop the server, close this page, then any error. So it shows the server is working or not working. You can check here. It is working, it will not show any error. If it doesn't work, it will show some errors messages here. Fine. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now see session scope means my session is there, valid, still valid. Let me see the third page. Also it is valid session. So if you kill my session, then I cannot access this data. Suppose localhost 8080 slash web1 slash cases slash student.html. So which page? WebJSF part 1. WebJSF. WebJSF part 1. So, see, my data is lost. I closed the browser. Earlier I was using this one. Anwar is there here. When I close this and I go here to the new session, let me check localhost 8080 slash web JSON part 1 slash cases slash student dot html. Now the data is gone new session. This is a new session. So this is called the session scope. Where is that? Application, until you shut down the server, the data will be valid. So request means only for a particular request. So let me change again to this one to request scope. Request scope. Okay. Request scope. Okay, here. Which scope will you? Sorry, this is deprecated. This one. So we cannot use, I think, this one. If it is coming like this, request scope, request scope, just one second. Okay. Okay. So I think that is deprecated. So we have to use the request scope. Request scope. Sir, wow. Okay, so let me try this. I think it will not work. Let me try this one. I have to deploy the package again. Deprecated means that scope has become, it is not advisable to use. It has become very old, or it has some drawbacks. Okay, that functionality that we cannot be used further. So that is the advice they are giving. So let us check now. So at the time of creating the backing bean, you have the request. Once, sir. Uh, so let us try this one. Okay, see, now it is working. Third page, it's not working. Did you see the implementation? First page to second page. This is my request and response. It is working fine here. But when you go out of your response, the third page, it is not working. So what I show you, I have page 1. I have this one page, student page. I have another page, result. I have another page, third page. So these are the names of the pages. Like this is the student.xhtml file. And this is the result.xhtml file. And this is the some other file, maybe like third page or some other page. So when I put the request scope here, request scope means what is the request scope? Read here where the state is available from the beginning of the request until the response of the client. So what is the request and what is the response? From student page, I click the button, I go to this one. So here it is mentioned, go to this page. That's it, khalas. Now my request response. Request is student page, response is result page. It will not display the data beyond that. So my data is available only from the first page. This is the first page. This is the second page. When I go to the third page, I cannot display the data. What is my name? What is the password? Blah, blah, blah. It's gone. Khalas, expired. So that is request scope. Flash. Actually, there is no annotation, but it is the very shortest lived conversation. You want to keep the data in a very shortest for the very shortest time. Then we can use this one. Another is flow. So flow means you want to specify to the user, go to that particular flow. That means the session is valid in that flow only. Like as I told you here, for example, this is a student one, then result one, third page. So if I specify that from this page, you can go to this page, and again from this page, you can go to this page. So this is my flow. So if I write like this in my program, then the data will be valid only for this kind of flow. Again, if you have some other pages, like you have first page, you have home.xhtml or something, it will not work. Suppose this is another sequence. This is the login page. This is the home page. And this is the feedback page. So if this is the flow, if the user is clicking first to login, then going to the home page, then going to the feedback page, you cannot display the data in this flow. I am mentioning only in this flow only I am mentioning. If I am telling the user that if you click first student, if you click second result, if you click third, then only your data is available. Understand? The last one is this one, flow based. So mostly we use request session application for our projects. Okay, I will come back to the previous one. Session scope. Okay. Understand now, every backing bean will have these different scopes. You can write any of these scopes based on your requirements. So it will define the lifetime of the bean and accessibility of the object. Lifetime and accessibility of the bean or an object is called scope. What is the lifetime? Whether it is very short, whether it is very long, that one. Sample, you know this one, sample. This is the bean scope, how we are writing. The next topic is life cycle and callback annotations. What is the life cycle of a backing bean? So when the instance is not created, the bean is not existing in the memory. Once the instance of the bean, the server is loading the application, so the instance is created and it will call this annotation, this method init. Whatever method you have, above the method, if you write at post construct, that means if you write this one, this is the first method which will be called. Imagine that there are 10 methods. From that 10 methods, I am writing above the top of init, this one, only this method is called first. Then only the preference will be given for the next methods to be called. So when the init method is called, the book object is created and it is accessible to the user. It is ready to save the book, to delete the book, to update the book, etc. Then once you close or shut down the application, so this annotation pre-destroy, so it will tell that to the container, your backing bean instance is removed from the container, please save your data or something like that. So post construct, when you write at the top of the page will, the method will be called first. If you write at the top of the method pre-destroy, that code will be accessed. For example, like you have, I will show you later. At the time of shutting down the system, what you will do when the computer you want to shut down, before suppose you are working now on the Word file, I will say shut down. What you will do next task? You are typing in the Word
Shut
file,
down.
you are in the middle of your work, and immediately I will say you, I am asking you, shut down your computer. What you will do? save. Save.
save the
So
oh
I will have one method here writing as save. So above that method I will write pre-destroy. So before shutting down, save my code.
Back
Before
to
shutting
home
down,
site.
pardon me, your voice breaking. Pre-destroy before you are going to release the resources, before you are going to uh, close the connection of the database, before you are going to remove the object from the memory, we use this annotation. Suppose there is one more method here, private void shutdown. Above that method you write this annotation at pre-destroy. So at the time of logging out of your application, the statements written in that method will be invoked. So these are the life cycle methods: post construct, pre-destroy. Now let us see this meaning here. It is given here. Backing being running in the servlet container can use this annotation, post construct, at pre-destroy annotations. After the container create the instance, after that, one second. Uh, Okay. So pre-destroy, students, welcome back. Post-construct and pre-destroy are the annotations that we use for our life cycle of our backing bean. So whenever you want to initialize or call the method first, see creating the instance of the backing bean. So in that method, above that method, you write add post construct. If you want to remove the backing bean from the container, whatever is the name of the method, above the method you write add pre-destroy. So pre-destroy is to remove the instance, and post construct is to create the instance of the backing bean. So these methods can be used to initialize the attributes or to create a class, external sources, etc. Release the databases, etc. So figure 6.9 it is telling. Which figure? 6.9, this one. So it is telling that instance of the backing bean is created using this annotation. Similarly, you can release the resource with the annotation pre-destroy. Now this, the next topic. Already last lecture, how to display the error messages using this JSF tag. H colon message is to display only a single error message, and H colon messages is to display multiple messages. Okay, so your application may have different categories of messages. It will throw user in messages. For example, you did not enter the password, or you entered the password wrongly, you typed the username wrongly. So these kind of messages are categorized into user input messages. Suppose the database is down, database server is not working for your SIS, so you will get some message. That message is not an input message, it is an application message. Your session is expired, so this type of message is displayed to the user. That type of message is the application errors. Like here I show you in the blackboard now. So when I log in, see this one, you enter a username password, so this is the input error message. When you log out or when the session is not active, it will show some other messages which is known as your application level messages. So these are the two category of messages. So we can handle the errors in these two categories using this H colon messages. How? Next, to see the code example. As I told you in the previous slide here, faces context. This one, faces context. Now it is coming here. So you need to create the instance, get the instance of this faces context message. So to produce the message, you have to, this one, put the messages in this by passing in the add message. So the method signature means you have to write like this: public void add message string client ID faces message, what type of message you want to show, error message, or it is a information message, or it is a warning message, like that. So here client ID is nothing but the form object which is known as the DOM, document object module. What is the name of the form? So when you create a form in your JSF page, I advise you always to give the ID for this form. You say that ID is equal to, this is which form? Student form. Okay, student form. So with this ID we can refer in our backing bean. If you want to display any messages, we can refer that one like this example. This is the name of the form colon, what is the property that we can bind in the backing bean. So for us here, student form colon user ID, student form colon For this also you have to use this one UID. I give here ID password. So student form colon UID, student form colon password. Like this we can refer in our backing bean when we display the error messages. So this is the syntax given here. This is the form name colon the title or the property ID name, UI component that has this identifier. If the client ID is null, then the message will be displayed globally. If you don't type this one form, book form, then it will be displayed in the entire application, not only in that form. Messages can be having this summary text. That means detailed, you can write the detailed information. Like if I say password invalid, why it is invalid, what is the condition, that you can write here in the summary and in the detail, that your password should have 8 digits in length, first letter should be capital, and it should not have special characters. Some kind of rules you can write in this message summary and the details. And you can also show multiple language messages using this internationalized message bundles, which we can configure in your faces config XML file. This one, resource bundle. Here you can configure different error messages to show. So if I choose the language as Arabic, the application will show the error messages in Arabic only. If I choose the language as English, the error messages will be shown in the English only to the user. So for that reason, this add this messages we have to add here and display the respective messages. Example I will show you here. See, this is the program. This is the output. So here only you are displaying the message, error message. You must enter a ISBN number. You must enter a title for the book. Now see here, do create book. That means I am in this page. Where is that? In this page. If I click this, I am going to which page? Which method? This one, display data. So here you have to write this code. This code you have to write there. So they are checking at the time of creating a book, create the instance here like this. Then you can access like this, book.getISBN is equal to null. Then you add the error message here like this. See here, faces context instance dot add message. So the message is for which uh, component that you are writing here. So error message will be displayed. This message enter ISBN number will be displayed for this only. It will not display for this or this or this or this. Similarly here I say here title. So you should enter a title for the book. So that will be this is the message for this component. So like this we can validate for the other components at the time of submitting the data. Suppose see here. Okay, you typed everything correct and you saved the book into the database. The user should know whether the book is saved or not. So that message is displayed here. Book is created successfully. Like that, the message will be displayed to the user once you store the data into the database. If any exception in this method, now see here, what is the type of message? Book has not created. This is the severe error. This is a big problem. This is a big error. So that type of message I am displaying. You understand this one, students? Displaying the error messages from the backing bin. Now we are displaying only here from the front page, front end page. Just you say required is equal to true, and here the whole marur, what is that one? Enter the password we are saying. If you don't type. Session is expired. See, session scope. My session is expired. I have to restart the session now. See, this is the messages which is displayed from our page. I want to display the messages from the backing bean. So you need to create the instance of faces context like this and check whether the entered value is null. If it is null or empty space, throw this error. You should enter an ISBN number. Can you do this one as a homework, students? Can you do this as a homework?
Yes, master, yes. Okay, Mr.
Only in your existing bean you can change the. Suppose you want to display the error message not at the top, you want to display here means you have to create a panel grid with 3 columns, and after this component you have to say h colon message. Now we are displaying here h colon messages. You should not display here. After every, here you have to display message for which ID. So user ID. Then columns is equal to 3 you have to put like this. Message for password. Okay, like this you can put. Okay, initially you don't say border, but when you type, the error messages will be displayed here like this. But you should not give here. You should remove from here and you should do the coding in this place, in this method, like how I show you. This is the coding. Faces context, faces context, ctx is equal to faces context dot get external, get current instance. Faces context dot get current instance. Now you can check here if, what is that one? Uh, User ID. This one, user ID is null, is equal to null, or or user ID is equal to space, like that. So you can get ISBN. You can also give do like this, user ID dot get, or it is already available in our directly it is available. So get user ID is available, so you can say here user ID is equal to null, or if it is equals to space, or dot equals to space, which is that one, title, I mean password for us. So password is space or password is null, then throw the error message. So ctx dot add message. So what is the error message? What is the user ID now? The client ID is this one, student form. So student form colon, what is that one, UID. So this is the string. So for this we have to display the error message. So So what is the message, error message? This one, new faces, new face message, new faces message. Okay, in the bracket like this. Is it an error or is it a serious error? Color, everything you can give here like this. So like how they give you here, faces message dot warning, message dot what type of error. See, is it severe? It is information. If it is warning, you can choose. I say error. Then what is the summary? Wrong ID. Okay, write in detail. Enter valid user ID. Okay, so this is the code for that one. I think for this one setting we have to do in the web.xml, you have to write some entry. This one, it will treat the empty values. Okay. Uh, Let us remove this one. See, wrong ID. It is displayed here, but we have to stay in the same page. So we have to write still the logic. So this wrong ID is the message which is displayed from the backing bean. This one, wrong ID, wrong user ID. So still we have to write the code like this. We have to check and return null. If context message dot size is not equals to 0, then return null. Else go to this part. Okay, we have to check there still. Then only we can go to this one. If there is an error, don't go here. Else you go to this page. What is that one? This is a string. So I will say string my str is equal to this one. Okay. My str is equal to okay. Else if this is the case, I will say my str is equal to same page name. What is the page name? Student.xhtml. Understand, no, this one? What is the message meaning here? If there is error, don't go to the next page. Stay in the same page. If no error, then go to this page. Return my string. Okay, so now I stop the server, then again I will run the server. Okay, so now we got the output. Now see, wrong user ID. You understand from where the error message is coming now? Just say like this here. Student. Okay, see, wrong user ID. So the message is coming from the bean. So like this you can do for the other part also. Check for the other one. If what is that one? Next part. Password is equal to null or empty string I am typing equals uh, password. So here you have to type user ID. So this is the password. Okay. If this is the case, if it is null, then copy this code, paste here. What is the ID for this one? Password in the page. See, what is the ID in the component? What is the ID? This one. Every component you should write ID name. It can be different name, not the same in the bean. So here I will write as in this form. This is a password pwd. This one pwd. Okay. So wrong password. Wrong password. Wrong password. Okay. So this is finished. Now I stop the server. I will run it again so that you can see the result. Okay. The page is displayed now. See, whatever is the messages now coming, it is coming from the backing bean. So here only I gave down. Now I removed the messages from this one. Hard coded messages I removed. So now you can give the English message or different messages based on the bundle here. So like this, you have to check for all the form fields. If it is null, stay in that page only. Else go to this page. OK page. So if I type here correct one, it is going to that one. So if I don't enter, it will stay there only. So to increase the look and feel, you don't give the border. Then the message will be, the border will not be displayed to you. It will be like this. Understand? Students.
Yes, Mr.
So
Yes.
this is the handling of exceptions. So same is explained to you here. Based on the type of message, you give the color. For error message, you give style as red. For the warning message, you give as orange. For the information message, blue color. Like this, you can do the mapping, etc. Okay, so the last part is this one. If you have a bean, what is this EJB? You will come to know in the later lectures. Maybe I think in the ninth lecture or somewhere. So if you have a bean, that bean can be accessed using your expression language. So already we are accessing by writing that annotation is at named. So if you write this at named, we can access a Java bean using the expression language. Example is given here. That bean, what it will do is it will display all the books from the database. So in your backing bean, you have that EJB bean like this. See here, this is the EJB. It is called EJB. So this EJB is displaying all the books from the database. So in your page, how you will display is using this tag data table. So data table is the tag which is used to display the data from the database. Panel grid is different. That is a table. This is a data table. The data which is retrieved from the database you are going to show. Like this. The name of the bean, what is the method existing in that bean? So this is the name of the bean. This is the method existing in the bean. So these things you can bind in the JSF. That is the meaning of bringing JSF and EJB together. Means we can connect them. We can access them. So how you are accessing database, everything, it is coming in the next chapters, not now, in the 8th, 9th, 10th chapters. Okay, so we will see this one later. So it is to give you the information that there is an EJB. That EJB, how you can access in your JSF page is this is the way, using your JSF expression language. Okay, so navigation, already I explained to you. See, you are navigating from this page to this page. So you are calling this action method. In this do create method, you are telling go to this page. So you are entering the data here, clicking the submit button. So the data goes to the database, and again you will be retrieved this page, list of books from the database. This you understand now? What is this one? What we are doing here? So this is a link, h colon output link, this one. If you click this, again you will go back to this page. So from this page, if you type the data, click the button, the data will be displayed here into this page. So this page is nothing but this one, list books. So your user is navigating from this page to this page. User is moving from this page to this page. Understand, students, this one? Navigation is what?
Yes, Mr.
So rules, I told you what are the navigation rules. Rules are defined here in this faces config.xml file. So in this file only, we will display the what pages you want to go, where you want to go. See here, they say here just success. So what is the form outcome? What is the ID you want to display? That is in the beginning, what I explained to you, that is given here, this one. From which ID? What is the case? So here, the case is success. If it is success, you are moving to this page. Okay, that is the meaning here, an example given here. From outcome, what is the outcome? This is the outcome. If this is the outcome, go to this page, list books, example given here. See, this one, from new book. If the outcome is success, you are going to this page, list books. If you click this, outcome is success, then only you go to this page. From this page, you are going to this page when outcome is success. So this is the example. Another example here, login. When you log in, you can come from any page. When you click logout, show this page, logout.xhtml. Understand?
Yeah, Mister.
Everyone understand this one? Amna, Galia, and what do you call?
Yes, Mister.
Yes, Mister. Yes, Mister.
You have to do this one. Then only you will understand.
Ya Allah, Mister.
Mister,
Yes,
what about the midterm?
midterm will be on Thursday, 3rd December.
No, Mister, we already have a midterm.
You tell the teacher to change, they will change.
No, Mister, he said that he can't change.
Then I will also not change.
Mister, two midterm in same day, it's not possible.
See
Make it
how I
for
can change if they
December.
can't change. How I can change? Tell me. Which
Because
midterm you have?
I have system analysis and design.
So you system analysis and design is not offered here. See here, no, who is teaching that?
Mr. Al-Hamza.
Where there is no date here. He did not put the date here. System
He did
analysis. You
not
can see
put
this is the
there,
schedule.
but he told us
He is
that
not
it's
putting the date here.
there.
See, you tell already Mr. Samir has taken the date. He will change.
I don't think so because just me with him on third from this section.
So he will change. If you are the only one, he will change for you.
Mister, if he didn't change,
He will change. You are putting the restriction, forcing me to change. You are not forcing him to change. If you ask, he will change.
because here we just four, but in that section we may be 27.
Which section? You are saying you are the only one.
Here in this section, I mean,
There is no information here. See, system analysis. Can you see? This is the timetable. These are exam dates everybody has set. System analysis and design here. See, nobody has given here what is the time, who is handling that, etc.
okay, Mister, if he didn't change, I am saying
You
if.
tell you tell him already. I changed for the project management. For the project management, the introduction to security, he is having same date, so I changed that one.
Okay, I will see if he didn't change, Mister, on 10th of December, okay? If he didn't
What
change.
is that? What is that? When?
10th of December.
Third?
10th, 10th.
I cannot have that one long. You can, if he is not, I will talk with him. If he is not changing, then I will keep on Sunday, your class time, 6th.
6. Hmm.
Already project management I put on 6th.
So, Mr. Two midterms in the same day.
Then you tell me, I chose different days. You are bringing them together.
Mr. 10, we don't have any midterms. Okay, Mr.
Pardon me?
On Tuesday, 10th of December.
It will be a problem. I have to ask all the students. If they agree, then only I can do.
They all agree here. Ask them.
Nobody is telling.
They
We
will tell
agree,
now.
Mr.
We are agree, Mister.
Safa,
Yes, Mr. I agree.
see, you are not telling your other teacher. It's a bad habit. You are telling me to change.
No, no, Mister. Because here we just 4. There we are 27. Because here just 4. We can handle it.
Where he has to enter, no, see here why he did not enter the data here.
I don't know. I can't
It is 27. So
say
based
that.
on this only we are deciding. So now it is your turn. You can tell him that this date is already taken by Mr. Samir. Then he will change. He did not put the date here. Based on that only we have decided.
So, Mister, what to do? I will ask him if
I don't know.
he.
Now you keep, if you want, you I will keep you on the Tuesday.
Okay, on Tuesday, 10th of December, no?
Tuesday is 8th.
Not Thursday, Mr. Tuesday.
Tuesday is 8th December. See this one.
Mister, you are opening November now.
I am clicking on December. See here. I am clicking on December here. Can you see here the date?
Mister, 10, 10, not 8.
10 is too far. You told Tuesday, so
Because
I
we
will
have
put,
class on Tuesday, no?
pardon?
We have class on Tuesday with you.
Yo, Tuesday
Not
no
Tuesday.
class with me. You are having class only on Sunday and Thursday for me.
Mister, we have Sunday and Tuesday.
This class, application
Thursday,
software
sorry.
development, Thursday, not Tuesday.
On Thursday, Mister, on 10th of December.
Yeah, that's what I am saying.
So, Mister 10, no, please.
10, no, it is too long. Nobody, I have to give the results to the department. They will say why you are conducting in the, actually we should not conduct in the ninth week. This is ninth week, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th December. We have to finish before that. See the dates, everybody what they are doing.
On Tuesday, Mr.
Tuesday it will be fine, no?
Which time?
Tuesday you can come at 10 o'clock. You have class Tuesday?
We have
No.
at me. For me, I have class at 12, not at 10.
12, how? 12 you think free, no? Everybody is free, no? 12 to 2.
No, we have. For me, I have class. Me,
Which
Ghalia,
class?
we have a
Also,
class.
I have a class.
Which
Object
class?
oriented. Object oriented.
So
Also,
you
no,
tell me which date you want.
Mister, we told you 10
Time I am saying time.
time.
Tuesday. Tuesday.
10,
Which
10
time?
o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Tuesday it is evening or morning.
Evening, Mister.
What time? Tuesday evening.
Uh, Mister, how many hour wait before?
2 hours only.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Mister,
You
book it
have
from 8 to 10.
morning,
No, night. Evening.
night. Who will do evening? Morning you do. In the evening up to 4 to 6 this time.
4 to 6?
Yeah, 4 to 6 or 2 to 4.
No, Mr. 4 to
Change
6.
4 to
2
6.
to 4 I have class.
4 to 6 I will put. Okay.
Okay.
Tuesday, ITSW3101 midterm from 4 to 6 p.m. Lecture 1 to 6. Okay, Tuesday.
Mister, 5 lecture enough?
5 lecture. First lecture is installation. Nothing is there, no, in the first lecture. Already you studied 3 lectures for that one. So 6th we have your project management exam. 8th we have uh, this one. Tuesday 8 from 4 to 6. Okay, another one is innovation when it is on, this one is on C10. I think, no, 29. 29 November. Installed from 0 time. So from 6 p.m. So 29, I have on 29, another is on 6th, another is on 8th. In the midterm exam, don't expect the theory questions. Little theory, only programming questions you have to focus on. I am the one who has put this one dates first, and you're asking me to change. So nobody has written. Now I am the one who entered this one. No Hamza, nothing. Nobody has done.
Mister, the exam will be just a program? Just like
Multiple choice questions, short answer question, long answer question. In the short answer, maybe you have theory and program. Long answer also you have the program. So if I give you the screen, you have to design, write the code. For instance, like this, where is that one? This one, where is that code? This one. If I say like this, by seeing this design, create a JSF page. Means you have to write like H colon form inside the body, H colon form, what are the tags, the code you have to write like this. This one, where is the code? This one, like this. If I ask you to create a bean, then you have to create a bean like this. Okay, these are all optional. This one, getter setters, I will not usually ask. So in the bean, write the properties and write the method here to navigate to some page. So do display data, return that page name like this. So the incomplete programs you have to complete. So I will give incomplete programs. Understand?
Yes, Mister.
You see the final exam in the folder of final exam sample old exams I put on the blackboard. So there is a folder in your course material final exam. So in that one I have put what are the sample old exams. So see in that one what type of questions will come. So you basically concentrate on this type of validations, okay, form design, these things. Backing bean, how to create, how to do the navigation.
Mister, 2 hour not enough.
See here, all are conducting 2 hours. If they conduct more hours, I will conduct more hours. I cannot go specially for one section.
Okay, Mister, but you will give us, yeah, we write a program. It's not enough 2 hour.
Program will be small, not big. This one, how many lines program this one? This one is the same copy paste, same. If you write one time, the same code you will write again here. Only this value is changing. So based on the time only, the questions will be framed, not too many questions. For the project management, last class I told you that activity on nodes, those all problems you have to be perfect. Problems, theory, multiple choice, that one. Any other questions, students?
No, Mister.
Shall I close the session now?
Goodbye, Mister.
There is
Yes, Mister, thank you.
okay, thank you.